hickory-dickory-dock. Time to beat the clock. Time for fun has now begun. Let's all play Beat the Clock.
Beat the Clock is brought to you by Sylvania. For half a century, a quality name in incandescent bulbs, fluorescent tubes and fixtures, photo lamps, radio and television sets, radio and television tubes, and electronic devices.
Now, here is America's #1 clock watcher, Bud Collyer.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Beat the Clock, the show where you have the time of your life playing against time for big-time prizes. Now, if you'll come over here with me, we'll meet our first contestants for tonight. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is kind of a special night. We're having an all-Navy night. Nothing but Navy fellas and their wives and gals is all we have on our show tonight, and mostly in our audience as well. Mighty happy to welcome Uncle Sam's fine and strong arm of the Navy. Hi, what's your name? What is it? We'll say it a little stronger than that. Can't even hear it.
Muriel Eifert.
That's much better. Is it Mrs. Eifert?
Mrs. Eifert.
Mrs. Eifert? What happened to Mr. Eifert? Oh, we did thanks to Mr. Eifert, didn't we? Hello there, Mr. Eifert. How are you, boy? Say, we got you decked out just fine, haven't we, huh? I wanted you out here while I was explaining to your wife that the bonus tonight is worth $900 cash. Whenever that buzzer happens to ring or that bell rings, the lady that's out at that time with her husband is the one that's going to get a chance to try for it. Might be you, can be anybody on tonight's show. Don't know where that's going to happen, but keep it in mind. Anyway, incidentally, for all of you folks who are wondering about our holdover couple from last week, they very kindly consented to skip a show, and they'll be our holdover couple for next week. So you watch if you're worrying about them. They'll be back with us, our first contestants on next week's show. How long have you been married, Bob and Muriel?
8 months.
8 months. Huh? And are you planning to stay in the Navy, Bob?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
That's a good cagey answer, boy. That's all right. Much better that way, I think. Well, we have a little problem for you on the $100 clock that I think might be kind of fun for you, and that's really why we got you in the asbestos firefighting suit there. It's kind of warm, isn't it, huh?
A little bit.
Come on, let's get you over here and get you started right away, shall we? Both of you. Mr. and Mrs. Eifert, you come over here with me. Could I ask Mrs. Eifert to sort of break out of this formation and stay right there, if she will? Thank you very much, Madeline. You come over here with me. Now, you know what that is. You've seen one of those before, I'm sure, haven't you, huh? That old signal thing to help the planes land. Now, we have here a sort of a, well, you might call it a yard arm on the mast or something like that rigged up there, and that's there for a very definite reason. I'll show your wife what it is. Your wife is going to stand over here, anywhere she wants to, on either side of this, I don't care, and she's going to toss over the yard arm a saucer. All you have to do is catch it on that little there thing there without breaking it, see? Just catch it on there, see? You just catch it on it. It'll sit on there, you see? Then, without taking it off there, make a little room somehow, and then she's going to toss a cup over, and you've got to catch the cup there, too. You must have on this little signal thing a cup and a saucer unbroken in order to beat the clock. You understand the problem? Now, if either one breaks, brush it off and start over again. I'll keep telling her which one she has to toss. See? So she tosses first the saucer, then a cup. As soon as she's got a cup and a saucer unbroken, we'll stop the clock and you'll beat the clock. You understand what it is? You toss them over that yard arm right there. See? Okay, now let's take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 55 seconds, and just for safety's sake and to keep you kind of snug and out of danger here from any flying crockery, let's put the mask on here, shall we, boy? That's it. You hold it up with the one free hand so you can see what you're doing. Are you ready, Mr. Eifert? Get a hold of the crockery there. You ready? Go. All right, I'm tossing. Now get a cup. Get a cup. Break the saucer when you do it. Hey, man! I tell you find out a lot of things about people like that, you see. In homes where the wife is accustomed to throwing crockery at the husband, there's no problem. Bob and Muriel, that was real good, believe me, because when I was trying this afternoon, we were dropping cups and saucers all over the mat. You should have seen the piles of crockery. We had to sweep up after it. We got it, but only after breaking a few in the course of it. You did all right. Kind of warm. Want to loosen that a little bit? I'll tell you, right now, let's take a look at an ultra-modern marvel as we listen to Bill Shipley.
We've certainly just seen one marvel. And this one is the magnetron, an amazing electronic tube that generates microwave energy for use in radar and other sensitive electronic instruments. Now, the design and manufacture of magnetrons is a highly complex and delicate job that requires the special skills and experience of the microwave research engineers of Sylvania. For example, this device contains no fewer than 32 different materials, each of which must measure up to exacting standards and perform a particular job. And in addition to special engineering knowledge, this work requires very modern and complete research and manufacturing facilities. And these same skills and facilities stand behind every Sylvania product, whether it's radio and TV sets and tubes, photo flash bulbs, or incandescent and fluorescent lighting. So whether you're a scientist with a highly complicated electronics problem or a homeowner looking for improved illumination and TV reception, you'll find that your best answer is always Sylvania.
All right, Bob and Muriel, again, we have a little thing that might be nice for a husband and wife. On the $200 clock, if you'll come over here with me. Mrs. Eifert, if you'll step right over here, and Bob, you stay on this side, and if you just sort of face each other, that's the idea. We thought maybe you'd like to sort of, square off at your husband with a boxing glove there. So take a hold of that in both hands. Oh, he's got his own hat. Where's your own hat? You leave it over there? Let's use your hat. We know that fits you. That's the idea. Now, of course, that belongs on his head, doesn't it? Sure. See? Come on up here. Come a little closer. That's the idea. Belongs on his head. Now, you're going to put it on his head. See? Will you put your hands behind your back and keep them there at all times? You're going to start it here with the boxing glove, and it must remain in contact with him at all times. Take a hold of that. You just got to work it up there and get it on top of his head. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you got. 55 seconds to get it on his head. Are you ready? You can't help it anyway, boy. Just, you can maneuver a little bit, but not with your mouth ready. Ready? Go. Hey, look at this guy. What goes here? We better have 9 extra stunts ready. I never saw them knocked off so fast in my life. Must be some personnel in the Navy that's working toward things like this. All right, you did it fine. Boom, boom, like that. You got through the 2 clocks, and now comes your turn to try for our jackpot clock. So, Bob, if you don't mind standing over there, I'm going to take your pretty wife and set her up here on this little platform. Turn around, face the audience. Bob, you can't help in any way now. All you can do is hold real good thoughts for her. That's the idea. And don't you turn around until I tell you to. And back of you now is our jackpot board with all of the words of a famous saying or quotation. They're all held there by magnetism, and they're all out of order. So you've got to get them back in order. You can move them around on that board until they spell out the saying or quotation we're after. All this in 20 seconds. Now, don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtains. Turn around, take a look. Go. Stop the clock while there is light. There is hope for life. Don't give her a kiss, Bob. You heard that. That's the way. Oh, I'm telling you. All right, now comes the big moment. You've beaten our jackpot clock, so let's see what you've won. Just take a look over here.
It's the 1954 Sylvania Stratford with a 21-inch screen and the great new Photo Power chassis for photographically clear pictures in even the most distant reception areas. And, of course, the Stratford has halo light for the greatest eye comfort in all television. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Eifert. You have just won Sylvania's jackpot prize.
Bob asked a question that you didn't hear that I think is very understandable. I think he'd like to ask it again. What was the question you asked me, Bob?
He says if I got Roxanne.
No, I'm sorry. Roxanne is not part of the prize, but I'll tell you what you do get. Are you stationed on the Hornet? Sylvania is presenting one of those television sets to the enlisted men's recreation room on the USS Hornet. Without...
Attention, 70. Call 800-719-5870.
Roxanne, whom do we have now?
Now, I'd like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Jim Kennedy from Rahway, New Jersey.
Well, hi there, Jim and Mrs. How are you? Nice to have you here. Let's give them a welcome from out there, too. How are you? See, from your card, you've been married 5 years. Is that right, Miss Kennedy? Uh-huh. Where did you happen to meet this fine fella? In Rahway? Was that your home?
Well, I lived there about 15 years.
And where's your hometown?
In Rahway.
Oh, that's it, is it? I see. How long have you been in the Navy, Jim?
I'll be 12 years.
What's your actual job in the Navy?
Aviation ordnance.
See? All right, sir. Well, let's move into your category right off the bat. Did you ever have anything to do with firing those big guns on those battle wagons?
No, sir.
Never did. We're going to give you a chance to see what it's like. Will you come over here along with me right now? Miss Kennedy, you just stay right there. We got kind of an obsolete cannon here. It isn't one of them there newfangled gadgets. It's an old cannon, and it used cannonballs, you see. We got them right down here. And the firing mechanism is all broke. So what you got to do is stand here, Jim. You see, when I say go, you got a whole supply of extra cannonballs here. Hit these things up through the cannon, get up the end and catch it before it hits the floor up the other end of the cannon. Get the idea? All right. Now let's get you set with the first one here. You just keep loading and running until you catch one before it hits the floor. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 55 seconds. Ready, Jim? Go. Stop the clock. Hold it while he loads. Go. Get it in place there. Hurry up there. Oh, come on, Jim. Hurry up. Sit back. Here we go. Oh, come on back. Hurry up. Hurry up. Stop the clock a minute. Hold it. Hold it. All right, go. Hurry up. Come on back. Hurry up, fella. Let's go. Attaboy! Stop the clock. Oh, boy. Well, that's a new kind of a cannon. I hope you never have to fire one like that. Wouldn't be so good. One way to save ammunition, though, you always catch it before you get back and you don't have to reload with new ammunition. Well, I gave you a little bit of workout now. We give you a chance to kind of catch your breath a little bit before we go on, but that got you through the $100 clock. And, of course, that moves you on your way here. Right now, I'm going to show you something you've never seen before because it's never been done before. Show them, Bill Shipley.
All right, Bud, here's one of the most amazing photographs ever made. For the first time in history, a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier has been photographed in full color at night with a jet taking off. And here's the exciting story behind this great shot. The USS Antietam plows through the sea 100 miles off the coast of Virginia. Aboard are Sylvania engineers invited by the Navy to do the impossible, to photograph the jet takeoff at night with Sylvania blue dot flash bulbs. A tremendous flash system is required, miles of wiring, and 800 Sylvania blue dot flash bulbs. There's no margin for error because we got only one chance. Every one of the 800 blue dot flash bulbs must fire simultaneously. Dependability is essential. And now, with the crew's help, we're ready on time. It's only seconds to the 0 hour. Will we get the picture? We've done it. Yes, to get this dependable and dramatic one-chance picture, the Navy called on ever-dependable Sylvania flash bulbs. And you'll find that you, too, will always get better pictures every time, whether you're using a Brownie or a Graphic, when you use the world's most popular flash bulbs, Sylvania.
All right, they're going to move the Kennedys now up to the $200 clock, and let's get Mr. Kennedy back out here. There we are. How you, Jim? How you feel now?
Oh, a little tied up.
Oh, a little tied up, do you? Any idea what the next stunt is all about? Did you ever paint the outside of your ship? Ever have to go down on one of those things and,
No.
paint the hull? You never did?
Paint the inside.
Maybe it's time you learn how to paint the outside. Will you both come over here with me, please? Okay, this is on the $200 clock, and let's bring out our battle wagon there so we can do a little hull painting, shall we? There we are. Steady, girls. Okay, Jim, if you'll step right up here with me, I'll show you what this is all about. Stand right over there where Madeline is. You won't mind that, will you? That's right. Okay. Now, here I have a can of paint, see? See, and a large paintbrush. See this, Jim?
Right.
Now, I'm going to do a little painting here for you. I'll take some of this paint out and show you that we can actually paint this hull with it, you see? And I'll paint along this way a little ways. And then I'll take and I'll start over this side, and I'll paint up on this side a bit. And I'll leave you just a little area, because I think it might be unfair to you. The paint's running kind of out here, too. I haven't got much left. I'll paint into that far. I'll just leave that area there for you to paint, okay? All right. Now, let's get that brush is kind of all wet inside. Let me have a fresh brush, will you? There's your brush, right there. Now, we have some paint, and your wife is going to put the paint on the brush for you. And here it is. It's a sparklet filled with whipped cream. Will you come over here? Now, you stand right there. That's the idea. You aim that like that. It comes out there, and you press on that thing to make it come out. Now, don't start yet, see? Don't start yet. Now, you just stand in close to the thing, and you turn around and get, she'll squirt paint on that brush for you, and then you just paint the hull as fast as you can. Let's take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. You have 35 seconds. I forgot to tell you, you can't use your hands. You have to hold that in your mouth. That's the idea. Okay. Now, you ready? Go. Oh. Get some more paint on that brush. Come on, boy. Put it in your teeth there. Good and tight. Need some more paint there, Jim. Turn around, get some more paint. Good. Paint her up good. Come on, once more now. Need just a little more paint. Come on, Jim. Get some more paint there. A little more paint. That's the boy. All right, stop the clock. Good enough. Roxanne! Now, you stand there. Take a picture of you. One of our Sylvania blank balls with a blue dot for sure shot. There we are. Get a picture of you now. You can have a record of the girls will get you cleaned up. In the meantime, Miss Kennedy, you come on back over here with me, if you will, please. Now it comes your turn to carry on for the Navy and for your fine husband. If you will step right up on this little platform at the far end down there, turn around and face the audience. In back of you now is our famous jackpot board with all the words of another famous saying or quotation. And again, they're all mixed up and out of order. You got to move them around on that board until they spell out the saying or quotation we're after in 20 seconds from the time I say go. Okay? Now don't turn around till I tell you to. Open the curtain. Turn around, take a look. Go. Hurry up, we got a few seconds. Oh, golly, I'm sorry you didn't beat the clock. It looks to me like the clock beat you. I know you had the right idea. Children should be seen and not heard is what it should have been. But you've done mighty well, Miss Kennedy. If you step back down here, you've beaten our $200 clock. Let's see what you won.
From the King Refrigerator Corporation, a compact 4-cubic-foot freezer, which holds up to 150 pounds of frozen food. Your King freezer, which is worth its weight in coal, will save you time and money. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy. You have just won a Beat the Clock prize worth more than $200.
My congratulations to you, too. It's awfully nice having you with us tonight. Whom do we have now, Roxanne?
Now I'd like you to meet Bud, Mr. and Mrs. Nelson Sperling from Pensacola, Florida.
Mr. and Mrs. Nelson Sperling. Thank you very much, Roxanne. Nelson and Mrs., how are you? And a welcome from our audience, too. Hey! Hold everything. You hear that bell?
Yes.
That's a signal for the bonus, and you get to try the bonus stunt, which is worth $900 in cash tonight. Come on, Miss Sperling, come out here, and I'll show you what it's all about. Have you seen our bonus stunt? You haven't, all right. Thank you very much, Betty. Here are two little spatulas, or pancake turners, you might call them. Hold one in each hand, if you will. Now, if I were to take this cup, place it on top of that one, you can hold it there, right? I can take this one and place it on that one, and you can hold that there. Now, that's the way the stunt is supposed to end. You have just a certain number of seconds in which to do it, but I'm not going to place them there for you. I'll leave this one hanging here, that one hanging there. You have to get one on each of those turners, and you may not use one to help the other. You understand? That's right. Each one must be done individually. You get the idea? Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. For $900 in cash, 50 seconds. I would start on this one first if I were you, if you're right-handed. Are you? Okay, you ready? Go. Oop. Get that one again, so that one's done. Get that one again. You got time. Now take it easy. Now raise it up a little higher. You got a little slack. That's it. Get easy. Good girl. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Easy. Nope. Take it easy. Come on, you still got 18 seconds. You're doing it right. You're doing the right way. Stay with it. Put it right against the top. Oh, golly, that was the closest one yet. I'm telling you, it was so close to that, I thought you had it. Thank you, Betty. Ooh, that was close. You only could have steadied that one down. It was so close. Matter of fact, that's the closest anyone's come to it yet. If you just, you get a little nervous, I suppose. Say, incidentally, I know you guys don't like to talk much about parading, but in the tomorrow's issue, October 11th of Parade, we got our own parade. Roxanne has the cover, and there's a very nice article about our gal in there, too. So get that issue of it. I think you'll enjoy it. Parade. Okay, now let's see what your next problem is. It happens to be the very first one on the $100 clock, and it deals with an article with which I think you're pretty familiar. So, Nelson, if you come over here with me, I'll show you what it entails. Now, I'm sure you recognize this, don't you?
Yes.
What is that?
Bosun's pipe.
That's right. You know how to blow it, do you?
No, I never have tried.
You never blow one? Well, take
No.
it, blow it. Go ahead. That's the idea. Okay, now that's where it is. And all you have to do when I say go is to reach up pull that bosun's pipe down. You see it's on elastic, and blow it. Just blow it once, all you have to do. Let's take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. You have 55 seconds. The only thing that's going to make this the least bit different, we're going to blindfold you, Nelson. That's the idea. Now, you've seen what it is you have to worry about, and, okay, snug and tight? All right, now I'll tell you what I'd like to do with you, if you don't mind, Nelson. I'd like to take you over in front of the clock for just a minute, because I want to stand you there and tell you again exactly how many seconds you have. You have exactly 55 seconds from the time I say go. Got the idea? So I'll turn you around again now, hoping maybe that either you or I are a little bit disoriented. Okay, you ready? Go. That was the funniest thing. People were saying to the left, straight ahead, didn't mean anything. Suddenly somebody yelled out, "Harder port, buddy," and he went right over there. Oh, I tell you, you get one kind of language, that's the kind you need, isn't it? Well, that was a good job, boy. Your wife was biting her lips off over here, worrying about you, I think. Well, I got you through the $100 clock very nicely and moves you up, of course, to try for the $200 clock. But right now, here's a fun-packed tip for our younger friends from our party expert, Bill Shipley.
Yes, sir, it's Halloween time again, and Iggy's playing one of the many games that you kids are going to be playing very soon. And you'll find that you'll get more fun out of all the stunts if you flash pictures of them. And it's so easy. All you need is a simple flash camera and Sylvania Bantamade flash bulbs. To slip the flash bulb Bantamade into your flash attachment, find the best position, and flash. And there you have a sparkling, lifelike picture. You see how clear and sharp this picture is, and how it was perfectly lighted by Sylvania Bantamade flash bulbs? Because these little fellows give you just the right amount of light when and where you need it most. Whether you're shooting indoors or out, or using an expensive or an inexpensive camera, you'll always get better pictures with Sylvania Blue Dot Bantamates. And you can get 12 Bantamates in this handy pocket pack wherever you buy your photo supplies. And still save money, because Bantamates cost less than bigger bulbs. So for more fun this Halloween and for better pictures all year long, stock up now on Sylvania Bantamade flash bulbs. They'll fit any flash attachment that takes a bulb.
We were having light back.
Well, to move you up now to the $200 clock, we have a little problem involving a sort of an anchor that we have concocted, and on this one, your wife will be able to help you. So if you both come over here with me, I'll show you what this one involves. Miss Sperling, would you come over here and have a seat on this stool? And Nelson, would you sit up on that one, facing each other, and with your feet on that little rail that goes around it? And each of you take a hold of the end of the string. We've manufactured this here now, little anchor. It doesn't look much like an anchor you deal with, I'm sure, Nelson. But in any event, this one is for a very definite purpose. Remaining on your stools and without putting your feet on the floor or getting up, standing up, or anything else, just staying right there. But you can use both hands on the string and do anything you want to with the string. This anchor can touch the floor, can do anything you want with it. All you have to do is to complete this stunt with this cup on that end of the anchor and this cup on that end. Get the idea? That's all your problem involves. I'll place that one back there, this one back here. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 55 seconds to do it. You understand what you have to do? I can do anything you want to with it. I don't care what you do, maneuver it any way you want to. Okay? Are you ready? Go. Careful, 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 careful. Get it all the way in there. Pick it up. Okay. Now don't drop that one off. Be careful. All right. Knock it over. Knock it over there. Wait a minute. Hold it. Don't knock the other one off when you do it. Easy, easy, easy. Up anchor! Stop the clock! Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, you're getting more help tonight than our contestants usually get. As soon as that second cup got on, somebody yelled, "Up anchor!" And you did up anchor, and you got it with the two cups there. Of course, these are all things you can have a lot of fun with at home, you know. You can set these things up. They aren't too complicated, especially that crockery one at the beginning. That's wonderful at home. Just marvelous, you know. You don't have to wash the dishes afterward or anything. Just toss them over the yard arm and break them up and sweep them out. Okay, comes your turn now, Mrs. Sperling, to try our jackpot clock. How do you feel? Butterflies in the stomach?
Yeah.
Well, relax a little. Nelson, you can't help in any way but holding good thought. Would you step out over there, please, for just a minute? And Mrs. Sperling, if you will step right up on that end of the... That's it. Now, don't turn around and look at the board until I tell you to. Because in back of you now is our famous jackpot board. And on it are all of the words of another saying or quotation, a famous one. And all you have to do is move these words around on the board until they spell out the saying or quotation we're after, and you have exactly 20 seconds from the time I say go. Do you understand? Okay. Don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtains. Turn around, take a look. Go. Right like a pen. Tell it right out, left to right. Oh, not right. Read it to yourself. Read it to yourself. Look at the left. Oh, golly, I'm so sorry. Look, this is what it should have been. I know you knew what it was. I'd have taken the hitch up here. Hitch your wagon to a star. That's all. Oh, dear, I knew you were. I'm awful sorry. But come on back in here, Nelson, because your wife and you have done mighty well so far tonight. You have, even though you didn't beat our jackpot clock, you did beat our $200 clock. So before those butterflies get the better of you, let's see what you've won.
For beauty and precision cooking, a Magic Chef electric range. Modern and graceful in design, your Magic Chef is engineered for maximum cooking performance and economical operation. Fingertip controls make operating quick and easy. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Sperling. You have just won a Beat the Clock prize worth more than $200.
Okay. Roxanne, whom do we have now? And very little time left, too.
Now we have Mr. and Mrs. Melvin Mullberger from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. Hi, Mr. and Miss Mullberger. How are you? Nice to have you here. Hi, Mel. How are you? All right, not going to waste any time or even spend any time talking to you much about yourselves. We have a problem for you on the $100 clock. Time's running short. Come on over here with me. Okay, would you mind taking your hat off? We'll take it right here for you. Better take it. That's the idea. Now, would you put this hat on? You're used to that, I'm sure. And we should have another one right here facing your husband. If you will put this one on your head. And put it down good and snug, so it's good and snug. That's the idea. Not too tight. I mean, you're going to leave a little room here. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 ping pong balls and put them down in the front of the front brim. See, right down in there, boy. Pull this hat down so it's... Whoop. So it's good and snug. You get it good and tight there. That's the idea. Now, there are 2 ping pong balls down there. All you have to do is to take those 2 ping pong balls and put them in the brim of your wife's hat and just hold each other's elbows all the time. That's the idea. You ready? Go. That's it. Don't touch the hat. Come on, boy. Don't drop them on the floor. Watch it now. There's one. Oh, golly, our time has run out. You did it! Okay, you beat the $100 clock. Good for you. All right, come on back over here. You don't need these. These are ours. All right, now we've got a real kind of a mixed-up problem. We thought maybe we could get through a complete sum, but we can't. Can you come back next week?
Yes, sir.
All right, then we'll have our holdover contestants from the last week back next week, and you back next week. How it'll work out, I don't know, but we'll give you all a fair shake at it, okay?
Thank you
See you
very
next week. And right now, this is Bud Collier speaking for Sylvania, hoping that next time may be your time to beat the clock. Good night, everybody.
This has been a Mark Gibson, Bill Godwin production. Produced in association with the CBS Television Network. Roxanne Dress by Larry Olney. Beat the Clock is brought to you by Sylvania. Mrs. Vern Bennett reminding you to tune in every week at the same time for Beat
Tick-tock, tick-tock, hickory-dickory-dock.